As an English speaker in the West, I'm basically used to the gaming world giving me whatever the hell I want. But no matter how many angry phone calls and threatening letters I send to the nation of Japan, they still hold back some gaming treasures from a full international release. With that in mind, I'm Will from WhatCulture.com, and this is 7 awesome Japanese games never released in the USA. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to stay notified. Ding, ding, done. Number 1. Devil World. Devil World is a maze game first released in Japan in 1984. Imagine Pac-Man with more Satan, and you've basically got the right idea. You control a green dragon cuter than Robert Pattinson being drowned in kittens, and collect crucifixes to gain the ability to breathe fire and eat dots in the maze. The cool original feature is that the maze moves around as you play it, controlled by the devil and his minions pulling pulleys and ropes at the top of the screen. Devil World did actually get a European release in 1987, and was also released on the Wii's Virtual Console in 2008. But Devil World never got an American release, presumably because a little green dragon in hell shooting fireballs at a devil out of a crucifix was more iconoclastic and downright satanic to American mothers than Metallica turning up to do a death metal and premarital sex concert at a Harry Potter convention. Who knows how many young minds this adorable little green dragon would have corrupted if it had been allowed into the USA. Don't worry, Tamagon, you'll always have a place in my heart. What's that, Tamagon? You're telling me to burn down the orphanage? Number 2. Front Mission, Scars of the War. I want you to imagine BattleTech and Final Fantasy Tactics had a baby. That would be one sexy baby, right? Well, let me introduce you to the Front Mission series. The Front Mission series is a collection of video games produced by Square Enix. First released in 1995, the series takes place between the 21st and 22nd centuries, revolving around military conflicts and political tension between immensely powerful unions of countries. All the game's storylines tie into a greater overarching narrative that encompasses the entire series, plus you get to fight in giant mechs called Wanzers. Awesome. Now, most of the games on this list are fairly old, so annoying as it is, maybe it's a little understandable they never got an international release. No one had a clue what they were doing in the 90s. The Spice Girls were popular, for Christ's sake. But Front Mission Scars of War was released for the PlayStation 2 in 2009, to critical acclaim and with no international release. Fortunately, an English translation for the game was released as a fan-made patch in 2009 as well, but until an official release comes out, don't hold your breath, a fan translation is as good as you're going to get. Number 3. Famicom Wars. If you're horrendously old enough to remember a world before dual-screen handheld gaming systems, you probably remember a little military turn-based tactics slice of awesome, Advance Wars, released in 2001 for the Game Boy Advance. Well, I hope you're ready for an incoming 30 base power ghost attack, because you're going to be astonished to hear that this isn't where the series began. Famicom Wars was a game released in Japan for the Family Computer, or the NES to us Westerners, in 1988, and received critical acclaim. It then spawned a proud family of successful and exclusively Japanese children for the Game Boy Advance and SNES throughout the 1990s. Famicom Wars finally got a release on the Virtual Console in 2009, but only in Japan. Why must you tease us like this, Nintendo? It'd take you like 45 minutes to translate Famicom Wars. But no, you just keep releasing one Switch game a month. I know you're working hard. Number 4. Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner. Devil Summoner is an RPG developed and published by Atlus. It's the first installment in a spin-off of the Megami Tensei series, first released for the Sega Saturn in December 1995, and received a port to the PSP in December 2005. Set in the city of Hirosaki in modern-day Japan, the story follows a college student whose death at the hands of demons forces his soul into the body of a devil summoner. You investigate the appearance of demons in the town and the activities of the dark summoner responsible for killing you. The gameplay carries over multiple classic elements from the main series, including first-person dungeon navigation, turn-based battles, and negotiation with demons to recruit them into your party. Looking at that title, it's not so hard to see why Devil Summoner never made it off Japanese shores. If our cute little dragon friend Tamagon wasn't granted US travel rights, God only knows the unbridled fury of middle-aged mothers that would be summoned forth at the Western release of Devil Summoner back in the 1990s. There are rumours floating around that an international release might be in the works, but so far still nothing. Nowadays though, with titles like Doom and Devil May Cry getting by just fine, I think this is one case where an international release or remaster might well be on the horizon. Number 4, Sega Gaga. What happened to you, Sega? From being one of the titans of the video game industry and a rival to Nintendo to the butt of everyone's jokes. I still remember how great you can be, and Sega Gaga is a testament to the potential Sega games once had. It's an RPG developed by Tensei and released solely in Japan for the Sega Dreamcast in 2001, towards the end of the console's lifespan. You know a game's onto something special when the first time the idea was pitched, it was written off as a joke. Sega Gaga's storyline makes tongue-in-cheek references to the commercially unsuccessful Dreamcast console. The player is recruited by Sega in a last-ditch effort to stop a rival company from taking over the console market. The game features numerous cameos by Sega characters and games, as well as a variety of different gameplay styles. It was something different and was well received upon release, and yet still never made it across to the West. Sega, real talk time. Stop slowly murdering that blue hedgehog release by release and get some of your classics out there in the international market. Try bringing out the games that made you great. Number 6, Metal Wolf Chaos. If there's one game I truly have no idea why it never got an international release, it's Metal Wolf Chaos. The game revolves around the president of the USA strapping up in an epic suit of power armor named Metal Wolf and battling forces who have taken over the US in a coup for freedom. It's more American than a dual-wielding bald eagle who cries tears of literal freedom and exclusively eats Big Macs. And yet, despite all the voice acting being English, the game never received a release outside of Japan. It was even released on the Xbox. Microsoft, hello, you're an American company. Just change up a couple of menus and throw the copy out the door. It's that easy. Metal Wolf Chaos has achieved cult status across the globe in recent years, with copies of the game going on eBay for upwards of $150. Number 7, Mother 3. This is the big one, the big mother, if you will. It's the sequel to the critically acclaimed Earthbound, and its development spanned 12 years and 4 consoles. Mother 3 was finally released on April 20th, 2006. In typical RPG fashion, the player controls a party of characters exploring a top-down open world, chatting with NPCs and battling enemies. So why no international release, Nintendo? Someone at the company must realize how much easy money putting out Mother 3 will be. Do an international release and I guarantee you'll see bucks rolling in from nerds across the entire globe. Just putting Ness in every Smash game is not enough. Make it happen or I start smashing Yoshi eggs. And there you have it, folks. Have you got any hopes for other games that still need to make it across the Pacific? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and visit whatculture.com for daily news and articles. This is Will for What Culture, and thanks for watching.